Alright guys, we're back here with game number 2 between Curious and TooDming. The map will be Ohana. Will Curious be able to close this out 2-0, or will TooDming answer the call of the non-Koreans and bring this match level 1-all? Let's find out, because spawning in the top left location as the blue Zerg, ladies and gentlemen, we have none other than TooDming. And his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner, the red Zerg player, currently up 1 game representing StarTale. It is Curious.
All right, man. Let's see. What are these guys going to choose to do? TooDming's just going to have to bring it a little bit harder this game, because Curious outplayed him from step 1 to step 2 to the end.
Yeah.
Like, he put on the aggression, took the map control, got the macro advantage, and won. It was pretty one-sided, to be honest. So, TooDming, is he going to maybe mix it up a little bit, get aggressive himself? Is he going to go for a hidden timing attack, or maybe just a standard longer game, whether it's Mute or Infestor?
Well, the mind I kind of feel the mind games of that last game sort of went like this, right? We had TooDming move out with a little bit of an earlier pool, and he was like trying to do a bit of damage. Curious held it very, very well, actually, like great micro in his main base.
Absolutely.
And that kind of made TooDming think, all right, I'm slightly behind here. And from there, Curious wasn't going for like some sort of insta-kill move or something. He just went, right, I know I'm slightly ahead, so I'm just going to keep pressuring you this game and just keep the pressure up to a point where if you make a mistake, I win, and if I make a mistake, we're just on level pegging. And he basically kept it up for the whole game long until TooDming made a mistake. And that's kind of how he won game number 1, guys.
All right, so this game, we have both players pulling first, but we have a gas just for Curious. Now, this could be for a Speedling expansion, or he could be going like a Speed Bane super aggression move, which is much less likely. But we'll see exactly what he wants to do as he does scout out what's happening from his opponent.
Hatch going down now for TooDming. So we'll find out what Curious has in store against his opponent there. The Overlords, of course, going to be able to make their way into the bases very shortly. Indeed, and Curious will see that the hatch has gone down. I think from the timing, he'll also know that it wasn't a hatch first as well. So we have got a couple of links coming out from Curious. Just 4 at the moment with a queen. Everything looking pretty hunky-dory.
Now, he's making 6 lings, getting speed, but the important thing to note here is the fact that he did not stop gas, and he starts the Baneling Nest. So we are going to definitely see a lot of early game aggression here from Curious. Now, can TooDming identify what's happening? His Overlord's in a good position to see no hatchery, so he's going to have to be careful, and he's going to have to get his Baneling Nest before speed.
Yeah, this really is a situation, like you touched on before, where it's possible to outplay your opponent from step 1 to step 2, because step 1 Zergling, step 2 Baneling's Artosis. And the premise behind this kind of play from StarTale.Curious, very, very simple indeed, but simultaneously very, very deadly.
Yeah. Well, he has started his Baneling Nest before his speed upgrade. He has started a Spine Crawler. Those are 2 very important things. Can he hold his natural hatchery? That's a big question here. That's going to be something that Curious may be aiming to stop.
The Spine Crawler completing up on the high ground at the moment. Of course, the creep not yet spread between the 2 bases this early in the game. And that arthritic Spine Crawler going to slowly waddle down to the natural expansion, where he will be able to assist in defending both the ramp and the mineral line there. As the Banelings come in from Curious, now this could be a good timing, but the Queens block off the ramp. Great way to stall for time, and the Spine Crawler does successfully root.
That's right. He's going to have to rely on production from his 2 hatches without any transfusions for the time being. He has to spend all his money on lings, banelings, and just hopefully keep that queen alive. The Spine Crawler's covering a lot, and Curious, let's see, he is still making lings, so he's just going to go for it here. And, wow, big detonation going down. Nice transfuses, but good banelings going down for Curious. Still some Banelings left for TooDming, though, and both his queens left alive.
Yeah, he's just rolling in with more lings at the moment. He's not actually droning up behind this. The current work count is 14-16 in favor of TooDming, who does have that second hatchery down as well. And the queens have done a stellar job of defending at this natural expansion. Curious going to continue to head in with lings. And there are no more defensive Banelings out here for TooDming at the moment, so these lings potentially could do a lot of damage if Curious is able to move in with some more. And now the ramp is not quite there. Is he going to go straight up? No, he's going to try and surround the queens.
And this could actually be it. TooDming going out of position for far too long. In fact, even banelings you have to ramp, as well as some speedlings. I think that this is going to be the end of TooDming and the end of a chance for our Chinese players.
Yup, it looks like Curious is taking a huge foothold in this game at the moment. Number of workers killed now 6, but TooDming is down to 18 supply versus 25, and Curious is still continuously producing links, morphing banelings in on the edge of creep as well, trying to get TooDming, baiting him over there so that as soon as the banelings morph in, they're able to take him out. The Spinecrawler trying to root once again, hoping the banelings auto-target them, moving straight next to them. And, ooh, what an explosion there.
That was really good by TooDming. That's going to buy him a lot of time. He has his Spinecrawler now buried, and he killed so many banelings with just those 2, like 5 of them, I think it was.
14 to 10 workers, though. Curious is going to try and continuously trade here. But with that Spinecrawler rooted, like we saw, excellent baneling detonation. Is it going to be enough? 17 to 25 supply. Neither side making drones right now. This really is like the most aggressive form of ZVZ you could possibly get.
Absolutely. Also very volatile. You know, you get just a couple baneling explosions that go the wrong way, or even one sometimes, and the game's going to end. So we do see TooDming still trying to push down. He does finally have that speed upgrade. He's making some defensive baneling right now. That's really going to help, but 4 banelings popping out for Curious.
Oh dear. Oh, don't be attacking those banelings. Okay, good. He gets them away just in time. Some of them still actually going down. One more baneling left. Needs to be oh so careful, but TooDming bringing down a baneling of his own, and a great detonation on Curious there. Buys TooDming yet some more time, but he is still down to 15 supply, and Curious now, the first one to deviate, droning up behind this latest attack, and he's 25 to 14 supply up right now, so I think that's a great decision from him.
It is true. It is a good decision. You know, TooDming's defense is getting better and better and better. He knows that even though he's still battling down here, he still has a Spinecrawler to take care of. So, you know, it's a good decision. He needs to switch it up. He's not going to end up killing TooDming right now, but TooDming is far behind.
Yeah, 22 to 10, and TooDming is actually making another round of links, and he kind of has to in case Curious decides to keep ramping up the aggression. But he's going to come out with these 8 links and be like, oh, you're not.
I think he has to counterattack. I think there's not a whole lot of choices here for him. He doesn't have any queens. His economy pretty weak, and in fact, as we see, just producing out of those 2 hatches. So he is going to go for a counterattack, it looks like.
I think you're right, Artos. I think he has to at this point. Curious has more than double the number of drones that TooDming has lings right now.
Oh, God.
And he's taking his hatchery and just saying, look, what are you going to do about it? And TooDming, it looks like he's not going to be droning up and trying to catch up. He is just going to make a lot of links. He needs to win with this push. Otherwise, Curious is just going to take this game. The supplies, 33 to 21 in favor of Curious at the moment, and he has defensive banelings as well. So I think this is going to be super tough for TooDming.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's just going to have to make a lot of banelings, spread them out, walk up the ramp, and see if he can get something done. But with these defensive banelings of Curious, with the Queen out there as well, it's going to be very, very difficult indeed.
Yeah, the Queen's going to make the difference. She's going to be able to snipe off those unless TooDming has like infinity banelings here, the Queen's just going to be able to snipe them off before they do any decent damage. The hatch completes at the natural expansion. TooDming trying to walk straight up the ramp and able to do so with at least 1 baneling and a whole bunch of links. So could this be the break he needed?
Oh, nice targeting by that Queen on the baneling. And, in fact, Curious still up by 8 supply. TooDming continuing to produce a lot of speedlings, and Curious finally making his own Spinecrawler.
Yeah, Curious still at 20 workers versus 11, Artosis. So maybe not quite double at the moment, but just like we saw on the other half of the map, the defense is just getting better and better over time for Curious right now. He's going to be able to stabilize in a position where economically he's just far superior.
Well, TooDming just made a drone, so we'll see if he's going to switch it up, but he just made 2 lings afterwards. I'm a bit confused what his plan is.
The Constellation drone, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that drone is for. Maybe he just decided 1 more drone will help his economy enough to do it. But, TooDming is not going to be able to get anything done with his aggression anymore. The defense of Curious is almost complete.
Ooh, nice. Actually picking apart that Queen at the natural. So, TooDming in a very disadvantaged position right now, but given his situation is doing so much. He's like doing as much as he possibly can to try and take this away from Curious. But now Curious is in a position where he's just making lings himself. So he's not droning up anymore. He's still 24 to 16 workers ahead at the moment. And all he really wants to do is stabilize. And once he stabilizes, he can go back into the long game. Credit to TooDming, though. He was down to 14 supply for the longest possible time, knew he was behind, and didn't throw in the towel. He was like continuously trying to break out of his base, and he's bringing the aggression to Curious, hoping he can get a mistake. But Curious is now 44 to 26 supply up. It's not looking good for TooDming here.
No, it's not. Well, TooDming, what is he going to be able to do here? Oh, well, that's
okay,
a start.
That's what he can do. That's good, man.
Definitely a start right there. That's the type of Baneling explosion that can change a game around. But still, Curious has too much defense to actually break through. TooDming is switching into drones, so this game definitely looking like it's going to go a bit longer, but I feel like it might be time for Curious to just choose his tech path. Does he want to go Roach, or does he want to tech up to Lair? It almost doesn't matter because he still is so far ahead by 21 supply.
Yeah, 54 to 30, trying to pick apart a Queen, and TooDming actually not able to do that and losing a couple more Lings in the process. So that excellent Baneling explosion he had out there in the middle of the map, about half getting undone there by that, and that really doesn't help him. I mean, he dragged himself back into it a little bit with that great Baneling hit, but Curious has just been so far ahead. He's currently 38 to 24 workers up, so he's even more ahead in worker count now than he was a couple of minutes ago. And now Curious going to be moving out with a little bit of a Zergling poke of his own.
That's right. He may as well go out and patrol the map a little bit, see what's going on, see if there's more Lings incoming. In the meantime, he is going to go ahead and grab a Roach Warren. And with that Roach Warren, of course, he has declared that he will be going for Roaches. Now, that can just be a solid defense, of course, but I feel like if he just makes a bunch of Roaches and then makes some Banelings go with them, that type of attack is something that TooDming's economy will not be able to stop.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to. It's really hard to effectively deal with the Roaches when you can't surround them with Lings because there are Banelings with this composition as well. And it looks like Curious just going to... Is he going to try and pick apart maybe a couple of drones here just to make sure that TooDming doesn't have the economy to deal with this? No, he's actually just going to run around and scout, make sure that TooDming doesn't have any tech that might actually prevent this Roach push from working. And Curious is making nothing but Roaches right now. He's actually rallying them in his natural because he knows his opponent doesn't have any Overlords there, and he's going to try and keep this as much of a surprise as possible. But Roach Bane, this is going to be pretty painful.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty baneful, some might say.
Oh, I see what you did there, Artosis.
Yeah. In the meantime, TooDming, I mean, he's so far behind supply, almost 50 behind right now, and he's going Lair. So he's teching up with insufficient units, insufficient defense, immediately throws down Spines when he sees this all moving out, because Spines is the best defense against an attack like this, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to have to make a bunch of Banelings and hope he gets lucky with them. It's
going to be too little too late. I think Curious moving out across the map now. He's still producing a couple of Roaches. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a couple of Lings from him as well, just because they're able to reinforce a bit faster, and it makes this attack a bit more cohesive. But I'm wondering if it's actually going to matter at this point. The Baneling's now moving in. Don't care. Oh, wow. Going off on the Spine Crawler there, and the one Spine Crawler goes down. The other three rather, are still in production, so they're not actually doing any damage at the moment. It's going to be too much. GG. And Curious moves on.
That's right. Curious 2-0 over TooDming, our Chinese national runner-up. Curious now going to get 2 shots at that top 6 to go to BWC Grand Finals.
That's right. So TooDming unfortunately bowing out of that.